is TOS Television, your digital first Pan-African news network. I'm Adesu Alsuyi, and this is Africa Now. Charging opposition political parties have called on France, the country's main ally, to desist from interfering. This is in response to the newly formed Chadian Transitional Military Council, declaring late President Idriss Déby's son, General Mahamat Déby Itno, as president of Chad. Mahamat Bichara, a spokesman for the main opposition parties, warned French authorities, including French President Emmanuel Macron, former Minister Jean-Yves Le Drian, and French army generals to not interfere in the internal affairs of Chad. France, which has about 5,100 troops based across the Chadian region, had called for the creation of a civilian government within a limited period. The Ethiopian Human Rights Commission reported that an armed group has taken control of Sadel Woreda in Kamashi, a county in western Ethiopia, killing and kidnapping civilians and public servants. The Woreda or county is home to around 25,000 people, the commission said in the statement issued late on Wednesday. The region is home to the strategically important Great Ethiopian Renaissance Dam, a $4 billion project that Ethiopia says is key to its economic development and power generation, but has sparked fears in Egypt and Sudan over disruptions in supplies of water from the Nile. The Commission in its statement said residents who fled the area reported that the armed group burned down and looted public and private property, causing the county administration and local police to have fled the area. Meanwhile, the United States Department on Wednesday has said it has seen no evidence of a withdrawal of Eritrean troops from Ethiopia's Tigray region, despite Eritrea's assurances that they would pull out. On Tuesday, the Zimbabwean parliament approved a bill that is seeking to remove a clause in the constitution on electing vice president. The bill will see the president appoint the deputy president directly in the event of the president dying or incapacitated, as the ruling part take time to choose a successor. The new changes also mean the president can prolong the mandate of senior judges and even appoint judges by himself. Supporting the new bill, Mnangagwa is one of opinion that having elected vice president would ensure a smooth succession and avoid political instability. The opposition, reacting to the recent development, said President Emmerson Mnangagwa intends to use the bill to keep a grip on the presidency. The controversial extension of Somalia's president's term by members of parliament has caused the United Nations Security Council urge Somalia's leaders to return to the negotiating table. It also welcomes the plan by the African Union to mediate the talks. Somali leaders were urged to implement the September 17, 2020 agreement on an electoral framework that allows clan elders select delegates to electoral offices. In turn, will choose federal lawmakers who then will pick a president. The Somalia parliament extended the president's term by 2 years, a move that was rejected by 2 regional states and the opposition. Somalia has failed to hold elections after disagreements between the federal government and 2 regional states. African Union Peace and Security Council is meeting on Thursday to discuss the political crisis in Chad and Somalia. Spokesperson of the African Union chairperson Eba Kalundo in a statement said the meeting was in line with the Council's mandate as the standing decision-making organ for the prevention, management and resolution of conflicts and crisis situations on the continent. This is as a result of opposition rejection of Chad's army appointment of President Idriss Déby's son in the wake of his death. Somalia, on the other hand, is facing a constitutional crisis following an electoral impose of presidential and parliamentary election. The AU Peace and Security Council can recommend sanctions against member states which violate its charter on democracy and governance. Such measures include suspension from the Union. This is TOS Television, your digital first Pan-African news network. You're watching Africa Now. More stories after the break. Do stay tuned. Welcome back. Mozambique's President Filipe Nyusi on Wednesday gave assurances of the government working to restore peace in the country. This comes after a deadly militant attack last month in Palma, near the multi-billion-dollar gas projects backed by global oil companies. Nyusi said the government foresees direct benefits of more than $100 billion from the gas project, which will diversify the state's income base and allow for reinvestment in other sectors. The projects are expected to generate 70,000 formal jobs over 20 years from 2022, he added. Nyusi said peace is a fundamental condition for the development of the project and called on all stakeholders to overcome these crises. Mabuza attorneys, the legal team representing former South African President Jacob Zuma, has quit. This comes less than a month to the trial of corruption charges against him. Zuma and French arms company Thales, who are due in court on May 17, are accused of charges related to a $2 billion arms deal from the 1990s when he served as deputy president. Zuma is also being tried on 16 charges of racketeering, fraud, corruption and money laundering, all of which he denies. The 16 charges he now faces were reinstated in March 2018, a month after the ruling party, African National Congress, kicked him out of office 12 months before the end of his second term. On health matters, trachoma, a public health threat, has been successfully eliminated by the Gambia, becoming the third African country to be validated by the World Health Organization as having eliminated the disease. Trachoma is a neglected, devastating tropical eye disease that can spread from person to person through contaminated fingers, fomites and flies that came into contact with discharge from the eyes and nose of an infected person. A 2018-2019 survey on trachoma in the Gambia found that the prevalence of the disease among people aged 15 and above ranged from 0% to 0.02%, compared to a mid-80s national survey that estimated the disease was responsible for almost 1 in 5 cases of blindness countrywide. Globally, 45 countries with an estimated 137 million people live in trachoma endemic areas. Of the 45 endemic countries, 29 are on the African continent. In business, a bridge loan of up to $1.5 billion designed to clear Sudan's arrears to the International Monetary Fund and bring the country a step closer to secure relief of much of its debt is being prepared by France, according to a French diplomat on Wednesday. France is Sudan's second biggest bilateral creditor after Kuwait, according to IMF data. Sudan hopes to qualify for the highly indebted poor countries debt relief initiative in June. The country is seeking relief on at least $50 billion in external debt to international financial institutions, official bilateral creditors and commercial creditors. Sudanese officially registered debt is more than the $56 to $57 billion. Uganda's only wild rhino sanctuary to the public has been closed, according to the Uganda Wildlife Authority's UWA. This is amid an ongoing dispute between the owner of the land and Rhino Fund Agenda, the organization managing the rhinos. Bashir Hangi, spokesperson of the Wildlife Authority, says the agency has now taken over the security of the ranch to protect the animals. On April 16, the ranch office equipment and documents were destroyed as the dispute over the sanctuary escalated. Some 27 people were arrested on charges of aggravated robbery, theft and malicious damage to property. Police say they assessed the property passing off as tourists. The UWA plans to relocate the animals from the 16,000-acre sanctuary home to 33 southern white rhinos in the near future. The sanctuary was established in 2006 as a protected area for reintroduction of the white rhino, whose population was nearing extinction in the country. And that is Africa Now. For more updates, visit our website at www.tostvnetwork.com. Also follow and like our social media handles on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram. And remember to subscribe on YouTube. Do stay with us and enjoy more programs on TOS Television Network. I am Adesuwa Osuyi. Thanks for watching.